Hello and welcome to the second episode of mine and Murray's FUT Champs Pack and Play. I have managed to secure the man Murray himself for a joint podcast next week, but for now, this week, our player picks. So we had a choice for our first one between Cadaburic or Sanchez. We took Sanchez because we thought he'll be more likely to get goals, get assists for the content of the episode. But then in our second pick, we did get a second shot at Cadaburic, so we picked him. And those are the two players that we had to work into the team. Now, before we look at the team, we did also open a what-if player pack, and we got a left-back, Yuri Bacice, I think is how you say it. And at first, we thought, not sure if he's going to replace Mendy in the team. We ummed and ahed about it, but we thought the whole point of this series is to try new players. So we popped him in, and this is what the team looked like, which we were quite pleased with overall. Obviously, changes in game quite a bit. And the first clip there is a phenomenal block with Cadaburic, who actually played at centre-back in the end. And he was very solid. I think Murray pointed out over the course of sort of the FUT Champs weekend that he was one of the standouts in terms of how well he delivered as a defender. Sanchez, we didn't think he was incredible, but then he had amazing moments like that free kick, and as you'll see later, some other world-class finishes which snuck their way into the montage. So he had his moments, but he isn't a player that's going to be lasting in our team for future weekend leagues. During the highlights, as usual, I am going to chat the so-called breeze in the background. And I was thinking today, I will talk a little bit about the benefit of social media. It gets slated a lot, I slate social media a lot, but let's talk about some of the positives of it and actually how it's been used to raise a lot of positive awareness recently about quite a few sort of relevant topics and issues that have been in the news. So, I mean, one of them is, I guess, the horrific murder of Sarah Everard, and off the back of that, there have actually been some really positive discussions online about sort of women's rights, and kind of just making particularly guys more aware of the way they address women, of the way, you know, men can shout comments at women in a very sort of brash way, thinking it's banter or funny. But the stats have come out to say that I think 97% of women or something ridiculous have claimed to have, you know, received some sort of abuse in that way, whether it be verbal or whatever, which is horrific. And as men, we need to take a long, hard look at ourselves and basically make a change to that percentage. So, you know, social media has been great in raising awareness for that sort of thing. It's also been good in raising awareness for things like racism, which has obviously been massively in the news of Black Lives Matter. And as much as lots of people don't agree with the movement itself because they don't think it's going to lead to lasting change, it's good that people are talking about it. And I think that's what Tyrone Mings, the footballer, said in his interview recently, which it bothered me how many people were annoyed by what he was saying, because he was actually all for the Black Lives Matter movement, because he was saying it's getting people to talk about it more than they have done for a long time. And although it has its issues, I agreed with a lot of what he was saying. I think at least more people are talking about it than they were before, and hopefully we'll see a positive change from it. You're always going to get exceptions and people just being stupid, like Millwall fans booing people taking the knee during a football game. I just think sends completely the wrong message. But it's good that people are talking about these issues to hopefully, you know, lead towards positive change. There's been a lot of mental health things sort of on Netflix and documentaries done about them, and suicide. Me and Beth watched the other day. There was a really good one about that, to raise awareness for that sort of thing and to encourage people to speak out more if they're feeling low. So there's been a lot of positives, I think, of social media recently to raise awareness. Even things like the vaccine. I know it's, you know, this whole COVID season has caused a lot of people split opinions online, but at least it's getting people to talk about these issues. You know, those that are a bit concerned about the vaccine, you know, I'm still want a bit more reassurance about before I take it and the ethical side and things, but it's good that people are having positive conversations about these things. And, you know, long may that continue in a way that hopefully leads to positive change in a lot of these areas that I've discussed. So that's sort of what I wanted to talk about in the background as we gradually wrap up the highlights. And overall, we were pleased enough with the team. We did really well in the end. I think we got 20 wins, which is gold one. And I think this weekend league we actually evenly split our games and wins. We both played 15 each, we both won 10 each, we both pulled our weight, and there's confirmation. And I hope to see you guys on the next one.